Previously, on Fire Emblem Gaiden, Celica travels through the eastern Zophian desert, defeating Grief, the bandit king, freeing his captives. Then she heads towards Mila's temple, defeating the cantor there and free the priestesses. Finally arriving at her destination, she is told to go to the Tower of Duma to rescue Mila, opening the sluice gate at the temple, with Alm opening the sluice gate at the west right after, opening way to Rigel. Celica thus makes preparations for her journey. I enter the Temple of Mila, going downstairs. There's a secret path I can take that leads me east, finding Noma, who asks if Celica's okay. Naturally, Celica's confused as to how he reached here. Noma, feeling worried, had followed her here, but fell down. Now that he caught up to her, he joins the army. I then navigate the dark corridors to the south, finding stairs to the isolated section of the first floor, opening the chest containing a mage ring. This ring restores 5 HP per turn, while increasing black magic range to 5. I give it to Noma. Noma is a sage, a 4 movement class that casts magic, being the promoted version of the mage. He starts with decent magic and resistance, but low speed, with his growths being low overall. His greatest strength, however, is his vast starting spell list, starting with cheap fire, long-range thunder, lightweight Excalibur, strong Sagittae, and even recover for HP restoration. That's decent versatility, even if his movement is low. Celica makes her advance north, fighting an enemy force on the swamp. This force is led by the Cantor Garcia. He, along with 2 other Cantors, will fill the map with monsters. Garcia summoning gargoyles that can fly over the swamp with impunity. Swamp terrain will damage my units and slow them immensely, so I send my flyers and units with healing equipment to cross the swamp. Fortunately, most of the enemy army takes a passive stance, so I can slowly make my way. Garcia himself isn't that impressive, using Mire as his close-range spell. After a long fight, I finish him with a triangle attack. Celica then advances to a swamp-filled graveyard. The many entombed here are a good source of experience and are easily defeated. I'm then attacked by Necro Dragons. They gang up on Saber, whom I have a hard time finding cover for, but I alleviate the situation with Celica and Paula. Celica marches west, fighting against the Cantor Dolph at his keep. Most of his army is stationed at the keep, with Dolph preferring to summon Necro Dragons to do his bidding. He usually summons 1 at a time, but the situation becomes concerning when he manages to summon 7 of them at once. Good thing I promoted Paula, she helps clearing them with ease. Then I face Dolph. His higher stats and death spell make him quite threatening, but 1 round of combat is enough for him to seek shelter, so I continue the chase until I defeat him. The threat of the Necro Dragons gone, I clear the rest. I enter Dolph's Keep. The dark blue patch on the center is passage to the Lost Treescape, a large forest in northeastern Rigel. Going north, north, east, then north takes me to the Sage's hamlet, protected by the Sage Halcyon. A man here says that Halcyon was once the High Priest of Duma, before being ousted by Jedah. The only way of fighting him is during every 4th turn. Celica then talks with Halcyon, who tells that the sword that sealed Mila is at Duma's tower. Celica asks for him to help Alm, with Halcyon granting him his blessing, promoting Alm to hero. I then use the lion head statue to give Celica +5 defense. I return to the starting screen of the forest, going south, south, west, then west, finding a statue of Mila, promoting Katria to Falcon Knight. I then go all the way east, then south, and west, fighting against the force of Entombed. Going all the way west, I find a chest with a silver sword, which I give to Saber. I go all the way west, then north, north, then west, fighting a force of Arcanists. Then I go all the way west, finding a chest with a silver bow, which I give to Leon. I then return to the starting screen, going north, then west, fighting Fiends, which are identical to Barons. Then I go all the way west, finding a chest with a silver lance, which I give to Est. I was perhaps a bit harsh on her assessment. Flying movement and access to triangle attacks can make her a good contributor to the army, especially since I had an easier time leveling her up than expected. I then decide to take this opportunity to grind a bit, having guaranteed fights with the Entombed available. By the end of this grinding session, I have promoted Dean to Dread Fighter, Est to Falcon Knight, Leon to Bone Knight, Jenny to Saint, Saber and Kamui to Dread Fighters as well, with Celica learning the Ragnarok spell as well, the most powerful spell, being very accurate, but incredibly heavy unfortunately. With the grinding done, I go back to the starting screen of the forest, going north, north, then west, finding my exit. I then go north to Duma's gate, guarded by the Arcanist Jamil. While quite a few units are inside the gate, there's a large amount of witches outside, ready to attack me, so I have to deal with them as fast as possible before they start warping next to my most vulnerable units. After they're dealt with, I advance to the gate, taking pot shots at Jamil with Leon. He's a very threatening spellcaster as he has the death spell for big magic damage. He is also capable of using Fortify and the Upheaval ability, although I didn't witness it myself. Once he's defeated, I can more easily face the Cantor as well as the Fiends. Celica then advances west, facing Jedah on a swamp, being accompanied by 3 Fiends and a Mogul. This monster is very strong and incredibly speedy, capable of doubling even the Pegasus sisters. As if that wasn't enough, it is capable of self-multiplication. Defeating it does result in Jedah retreating, taunting Celica as he does so. Only the Fiends are left at this point, and they're easily dispatched. Celica enters the Tower of Duma. I use the right lion head to give Saber plus 3 speed. Then I climb the first set of stairs, facing Arcanists, Dread Fighters and the Fiend, using a reduced force. The Arcanists are easy enough, but the Dread Fighters take a while, so the north wall opens up before I've dealt with them. Once I end this battle, I reach the second floor, going up the stairs, facing Necro Dragons and a Bow Knight in 4 separate rooms, although flyers can move freely between them. My Falcon Knights deal with the Necro Dragons, leaving the Bow Knight for last. I reach the 3rd floor, using the Lion Head here to give Celica plus 3 HP, then I climb up, facing another 3 Necro Dragons and a Bow Knight on 3 separate corridors. Each of my Falcon Knights defeats a Necro Dragon, then I defeat the Bow Knight with triangle attacks. I have thus reached the 4th floor, using the right lion head to give Celica plus 3 strength. I then enter the next room, meeting Jedah. He's been waiting for Celica, presenting himself as the leader of the Duma faithful. Celica begs Jedah to free Mila, but Jedah instead shows Alm's struggles to Celica through his crystal. Celica has reached the Tower of Duma after traversing Treacherous marshland, meeting with Jedah, High Priest of Duma. Not being able to free Mila, she is instead forced to watch Alm and his adversities as he advances towards Rigel Castle. Will Alm be able to face these hardships head-on? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time, as Alm finally takes the fight to King Rudolph.